For almost 2 decades, the Ether storyline has given us gods, demons, time travel, multiverses, and more retcons than any of us can count. But despite all that insanity, I think the entire storyline can be boiled down to just three main characters, three pillars. Characters so important that if you remove them from the story, the entire narrative simply collapses. Now, before we get into those three pillars, we need to acknowledge some characters who came incredibly close. We will be talking about 7 different characters and their most significant moments. Number 1, Tank Dempsey. Tank Dempsey is arguably the face of Call of Duty Zombies for many players. The crew finally realizes something horrifying. They are not the heroes, they are actually the sacrifices. Honorable mention number 2, Nikolai Belinsky. Nikolai's defining moment comes at the very end of Tagged or Toten. After the cycle is broken, Nikolai inherits the Chronorium and ultimately becomes the man capable of ending everything. And he does. Poisons his friends, sacrifices himself, and destroys the multiverse. Arguably the single most important decision in the Ether storyline. Number 3, Takeo Masaki. Takeo is the moral compass of both Ultimus and Primus. The death of Ultimus Takeo and the recover of his soul further pushes Primus down the path laid out by Richtofen and reinforces the tragedy of the cycle, and rest in peace to Tom Kane. Number 4, Dr. Monty. Arguably the most powerful being we've ever encountered in zombies. Without Monty, Primus never reaches the house. Without Monty, the cycle never continues. But he doesn't create conflict, he merely sustains it. Number 5, the Shadow Man. Every hero needs a villain, and for much of Black Ops 3, that villain is the Shadow Man. Obviously, his most significant moment is the corruption of Dimension 63 in the events of Shadows of Evil. By manipulating the crew and escaping the summoning key, the Shadow Man initiates the final battle for reality itself. Number 6, Peter McCain. Old school lore fans know exactly why Peter McCain deserves recognition. His defining moment is obviously his infiltration of Group 935 and subsequent death at Shin Onuma. And last but not least, Pablo Marinus. Pablo may be the most underrated character in all of zombies. His defining moment occurs in Tagged or Toten when he finally fulfills the Great War cycle by helping Victus acquire the Agarthan device. Pablo, one of the most tragic characters, spent centuries trapped in an endless loop of suffering, witnessing countless iterations of history. His story perfectly embodies the themes of sacrifice and inevitability that define the Ether. Now we move into the 3 pillars, the stepping stone characters of our beloved game, and our 3rd pillar is Ludwig Maxis. And honestly, calling Maxis merely important might be underselling it. Because before there was Ultimus, before there was Primus, before there was even a zombie storyline as we know it, there was Group 935. And at the center of Group 935 was, you guessed it, Maxis. As the founder of 935, Maxis spearheaded humanity's research into Element 115. And on paper, this research was meant to end World War II and usher in a new technological age. Instead, it created teleporters, reanimated the dead, fractured reality itself, and unleashed the greatest catastrophe in human history. And perhaps Maxis' biggest mistake was recruiting a brilliant but completely insane scientist by the name of Edward Richtofen. And that's when everything changes on Doris. In the radios found throughout the map, we learn that Richtofen betrays Maxis, teleports Samantha, his daughter, into the MPD on the moon, and attempts to murder both Maxis and Samantha. Samantha does survive, but Maxis is left physically destroyed and spiritually scattered across the Ether. And from that moment on, the entire storyline becomes the battle of Maxis and Richtofen. Obviously, this conflict reaches its peak in Black Ops 2. Throughout Transit, Die Rise, and Buried, Maxis and Richtofen are battling over who can manipulate Victus from beyond reality, who can urge them to activate the polarization towers. If the player sides with Maxis and Buried, he finally gains control of the Ether, only to become even more powerful and dangerous than Richtofen himself. But beneath all Maxis' actions lies something tragic, something truly soul-crushing, his care for his daughter. Nearly every decision Maxis makes, whether noble or horrific, can be traced back to Samantha. And this becomes especially clear in Origins. At the end of the map, Samantha and Maxis appear in the famous ending cutscene that completely recontextualized the story. Suddenly, the Ether was no longer simply about survival, it was about a father and a daughter. And by the time we reach Black Ops 3, saving Samantha becomes the central mission of Primus itself. Without Maxis, there is no Group 935, there is no Samantha, no Richtofen, and no Ether storyline. And moving on to pillar number 2, we have the daughter of Ludwig Maxis, Samantha Maxis. For many players who started during World at War and Black Ops 1, Samantha was Call of Duty Zombies. Long before multiverses and keepers, every game began with one haunting phrase when the dog round hit. Samantha's story begins on the map Moon. After Richtofen betrays Maxis, Samantha enters the MPD, gaining near godlike control over the Ether. For years, she becomes the unseen antagonist of zombies. Noct, Verrucht, Shinonuma, Doris, Kino der Toten, Ascension, Call of the Dead, Shangri-La, Moon. Every one of these maps occurs under Samantha's rule. Every glowing-eyed zombie, every teddy bear, every demonic laugh, that was all Samantha. What makes Samantha such an incredible character is that she isn't simply evil. She's a child who is broken. A child who witnessed betrayal, lost her father, and was trapped alone in a cosmic prison with access to unimaginable power. By the time Moon came around, Richthofen successfully swapped souls with Samantha, finally taking control of the ether like he longed for so long. Yet, even after losing her powers, Samantha remains central to the story. Origins completely changes our understanding of her character. Instead of a monster, Samantha becomes a frightened child, attempting to escape a broken reality. Then Black Ops 3 raises the stakes even higher. The entire purpose of Primus's journey across Shadows of Evil, Dreisendrach, Zetsubo no Shima, and Garad Krovi is to collect souls and preserve the children within the house. And among those children, Samantha stands above them all. And in Tag der Toten, after Nikolai sacrifices everything to destroy the multiverse, Samantha and Eddie are the only beings allowed to enter the new universe. When the old world ends, Samantha survives. And that isn't an accident. It's the story telling us that Samantha was always the future. And number 1, the main pillar of Call of Duty Zombies, the main pillar of the storyline is Edward Richthofen. Was there ever any doubt, guys? Really? Edward Richthofen isn't just the most important character in Zombies history, he is the Ether storyline. Let's think about it. Who creates Ultimus? Richthofen. Who betrays Maxis? Richthofen. Who traps Samantha in the MPD? Richthofen. Who accidentally sets countless dimensions on a collision course? Richthofen. Nearly every major event in the Ether can be traced back to one man. And, you guessed it, Edward Richthofen. During World at War in Black Ops 1, Ultimus Richthofen serves as the story's primary instigator. His obsession with the voices of the Ether drive him to commit atrocities in pursuit of ultimate power. And on Moon, he achieves his goal. For the first time, Richthofen becomes ruler of the Ether itself. But Origins in Black Ops 3 transforms the character forever. Primus Richthofen is not the same man. Primus Richthofen is a reformed, smarter, and less maniacal German scientist, one who understands that he must sacrifice himself and his friends for the world. Armed with the Chronorium, Primus Richthofen understands that reality exists within an endless cycle. Everything he does, from recruiting the other Primus members in Origins, to collecting souls in Dreisendrach, Zetsubo no Shima, and Garad Krovi, it's all done in pursuit of preserving existence itself. And then comes Blood of the Dead. Arguably the single greatest character moment in Zombies history, one of my favorite in gaming ever. The cycle breaks for Richthofen. Richthofen realizes that the future he dedicated his entire existence to preserving is doomed. And in one final act, he is sacrificed so that his friends may continue.
No. No, you can help me. You're a doctor. I have been witness to miracles and calamities. Dimensions born and collapse. I walk a path no other can take. No! I want to be me. Someone who did all the hard work. I wanted to keep going. This me. My slightest heart. You won't even remember.
It is a heartbreaking conclusion for a character who spent years manipulating everyone around him. Yet, even after his death, Richthofen's influence obviously remains. Nikolai is only able to succeed because of the Chronorium Richthofen recovered. The children only survive because Richthofen created the plan. The multiverse only persists as long as it does because Richthofen refused to give up. Richthofen isn't merely a pillar, he is the foundation upon which the entire Ether storyline rests. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want more storyline content like this, make sure to subscribe, and there is much more coming in the future.